Right, okay, guys. Good morning and welcome back. Let's start. Let's do the recording. I know some most guys are having school, but since we need to go faster, I'm going to do the recording. Understand? Can you hear me, guys? Right? So I know today is a school day, but this Sunday I want to start the manufacturing accounts, and I'm giving free recordings. Those who can't join, you can refer the recordings, right? So no any charge for the recording, so that's why. Okay, so now still we haven't do the big calculations. I want your support, like can I got the questions from the January, so I want the all the missed questions up to here in a document. Is it clear to you guys? Right, document එක දාලා කරන්න. මොකද අදත් මම ගොඩක් ඒවා මිස් කරලා යනවා. මොකද අපි go to the big calculation. So I think last week we finished about EPF and ETF, correct? Right. So last week we finished EPF and ETF adjustment, and I gave you about the EPF and ETF adjustment last week. I not last week. I think we did this one before 2 weeks ago. Am I correct? Right. So 1 or 2 weeks ago I did the recording. So in here, as I can remember, I finished the EPF and ETF. Right. Okay, so let's do the other thing today. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do the other part. So like let's do one question in EPF and ETF, and the pending thing is all about. I think it's the VAT. You know the VAT. Understand? So let's do one question in EPF, ETF, and let's do VAT, and then we can go to the big questions. All clear to you guys? Right? Let's go to the big questions. Right. Okay. So when it comes to EPF and ETF, you can see I'll take one question. කරපු නැති ඔක්කොම මට එකක දාලා එවන්න. Right. So the following details related to Simita Julie company's December uh, 2019 salary code, gross salary 200,000, deductions from salary, public bank loan installment 25,000, professional associate membership fee 5,000, then provident fund contribution 8% of the gross salary. Additional information: the institution must contribute 12% and 3% from the gross salary to the EPF and ETF respectively. Net salary and the loan installment have been paid. The contribution for both like loan installments, right? So the contribution for both funds and the professional associate membership fee have not been paid by January 5th. Have not been paid by January 5th. Right. So they are asking about the accounts and the P&L and SFP. Am I correct? Okay, guys. Right? You can write. I'm going to do only one now. Rest of the things you can do. So you can see. Let's exercise EPF ETF, right, under EPF and ETF. So EPF and ETF, under that let's do. Right? Okay, so let's do exercise number 54, page number 26. Exercise number 54, page number 26. Right. So let's record. Right. So the follow right, gross salary 200,000. Right. First of all, schedule the salary sheet. salary sheet. Then let's go to the accounts. Gross salary, you know, 200,000. From this, we get the deductions. Deduction. We account the gross salary, right? Deductions, right? So, you know, uh, how to record the deductions. Public bank loan installment 25,000. You can write under deduction bank loan installment 25,000. Then professional membership fee 5,000. Professional membership fee 5,000. Then EPF 8%, right? So EPF is about 8%. So we calculate EPF upon the gross salary 8%. 16,000. Right? 16,000. Right? So I'll send that you to the chat box. Tutorial already uploaded to the LMS. You can download it. Right. Okay. Now let's see. So then additional information, the institution must contribute 12% and 3% from the guest salary. Now this is it is a separate thing. This is the amount we deposit. This is the net salary. Can you tell me how much the net salary total? Deduct all the things and tell me the totals. Yes. What is the total? 154,000. Check and tell me. 150. So now let's see the employer contribution. Employer contribution. Right? EPF, you know, uh, 200,000 into employer contribution is 12%, right? 12%. 12 upon 100 is 24,000, right? Then if I take, I'll scroll down now. ETF, 200,000 into 3 upon 100 It's 6,000. Correct? Yes. So this is just the exercise number 54, page number 26. Huh? Right. So then what is the requirements? Still we haven't done the requirements. Just see the requirements in here. Ledger accounts necessary to record the salaries. Ledger accounts. Finish up to here and raise your. Right. Now you can write the things in here and draw the ledger accounts. In here it's right. Number one, ledger accounts, right? You know, we debit the salaries and wages account, the gross salary, 200,000. But you know, only we paid cash related to the salary 154,000. These things are paid now. Loan installment. Why we deduct loans now? When the employee has obtained a loan, right, through the business, the business is the one who responsible to give the loan to the bank. Can you hear me, guys? Right. So it is a liability to the business. Because of that, what business does? Loan installment payable. Can I not? This is the business, not business employee loan installment payable. මේ බැංකුවේ සල්ලි يعني employee ගෙන් කැපිලා බැංකුවට යන්න තියෙන සල්ලි business එකේ liability එකක්. ඇයි අදාළ අනුන්ගේ සල්ලි නේ. Can you hear me? Right? The employee loan installment payable. How much? It's 25,000. 25,000. Look here, I'll give you enough time to try. Then apart from that, you can see professional membership fee. It is also not relevant to the business. Employee, don't write. Employee professional membership fee payable. It's 5,000. 5,000. Don't write. Then, you know, employee contribution related to the EPF payable. How much? 16,000. Now you know debit and credit tally. The transaction number one, actually you can write the receipt. Actually the first double entry, one debit entry, four credit entries. Can you hear me, guys? The totals are tally, right? Now this business CPF and ETF, it is business expense, right? You can write. So EPF expense number two, how much? 24,000. Number two, 24,000, right? ETF is another separate fund. You need to have two ledger accounts. ETF expense and ETF payable. 6,000, right? Number 3, ETF expense 6,000. If payable 6,000. Now it's done. Now let's see what are the require. There is another thing. Net salary and loan installment have been paid. Loan installment also paid to the bank. So if the loan installment paid to the bank, right? Now it's business has paid the fund to the bank, which means this is number 4. This is debit 25,000, cash credit 24,000, because bank employee කපාගත් එක දැන් business එක බැංකුවට දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒක business එකේ payable එකක් නෙමෙයි. Can you hear me guys? Right? ඒක business එකේ එකක් නෙමෙයි. දැන් employee ගෙන් කපාගෙන දාගත්ත අපි liability එකක් කරා. දැන් අපි ඔන්න බැංකුවට ගෙව්වා. දැන් මේ account එක close වෙනවා. But in here it says loan installment, the contribution for both funds and professional associate membership fee have not been paid. මේක ගෙවලා නැහැ. මේක ගෙවලා නැහැ. මේක ගෙවන්නේ ලබන මාස. මේව funds නේ, payable කියන්නේ funds නේ. මේක ගෙවලත් නැහැ. both funds කියන්නේ මේක fund එකක්. right? ETF එක ගෙවලත් නැහැ. ETF එක ගෙවලත්. right? Now they are asking about P&L and SFP extracts. So I'll prepare it in here. Number 2. I'll use the thousands. P&L extracts. Oh, onna harina nama liyannu. Whose business is this like? And I'll prepare the SFP extracts. SFP extract. Then what are the things what coming under expenses? And the payable things are liability. It is a current liability. Right, let's see one by one. I'll use the thousands. Let's come from the beginning. So when it comes to salaries and wages, we record the gross salary as the expense, right? You can write salary and wages is 200,000. Right. Then apart from that, you can see cash you can't take, because in cash account there are many other things than the second account. Cash account balance එක මේක විතරක් නෙමෙයි ළමයි business එකේ cash transaction තවත් වෙනවා. So don't take it. You don't need to write this one as the liability because it's already paid. But this is a liability. Employee professional membership fee payable 5,000. ඒ කියන්නේ employee ගෙන් කපාගෙන දෙන්න තියෙන එක. ඒක business එකට අදාළ එකක් නෙමෙයි. I'll remove this one. එකක් තිබ්බනම් ඇති අතට. Karan. You can write employee professional membership fee fund, it's 5,000. I'm using thousands. I'm rounding off to thousands. Right. Done. Next one. So EPF payable also a liability. When it comes to EPF payable, both things are there. You can take the total is 40,000, right? So BCD debit, BPF credit, which means it's liability. EPF payable 40,000. EPF payable 40,000. EPF expense business එකේ අතින් දාන එක මේ employee ගෙන් කපන expense එක ගන්න. EPF expense 24,000. EPF expense 24,000. ETF expense or 6,000. ETF expense 6,000. ETF payable, it is a liability. ETF payable is a liability. Easy clear? You guys send me a thumbs up. Hope it's understand. There, right? Hope it's clear to you. Right up to here and raise your hands. Show the latter part as well. And I'll show the latter parts as well. Scroll down. Write this and raise your hands. I'll show. We take it to here, but I'll take it. I think we don't need proof. Finish it and raise your hand. Hold on. Hope other also done. Right? Okay. So let's see the other part. Right? So I think you're okay with these things, right? If you need, you can do the other things. I'll do the other things in later. Okay, guys? Can you hear me? Do the other questions as well. Right? So you can write the final double entries up to here. Right? Okay. So let's write. Right. So it's exercise number 55. Go to the page number 26. Right. Page number 26. Closing stocks, closing stock account debit, cost of sales account credit. Now, if there is stocks written off, debit it. The net realizable value is lower than the cost, stocks written off. Purchases. No any information about cash purchase or credit purchase. When it comes to cash purchase, purchase account debit, cash control account, ready? Credit purchase, purchase account debit, creditor account, then asking about stocks donation, stock donation account debit, it is an expense account, purchase account, credit. Accrued expenses, relevant expense account, debit, accrued expense account is a liability account, credit. Then accrued income, it is an asset, accrued income account debit, relevant income account, finish up here and raise your hand. Done. Yes. Right. Let's try the other thing. Prepaid expenses. It is an asset to the business, right? So, prepaid expense account debit, it is an asset. So, the excess amount, remove from the prepaid amount, remove from the expense account. Relevant expense account credit. Unearned income means actually, so unearned income, which means it is also like pre-received income. කියන්නේ අපි තාම මේ income එක earn කරලා නැහැ. හැබැයි අපිට කලින් ඇවිල්ලා that is the term called unearned income, right? So, relevant income account debit, why? We need to remove it from the income account. Pre-received income account credit. Bad debts. Bad debts account debit. You can write like debtor account or debtor control account credit. Doubtful debt provision, doubtful debt account debit. Provision for doubtful debt account credit. That's it. Depreciation, you know, relevant depreciation account debit. Provision for depreciation account credit. Right. Next one. EPF employer contribution. එම්ප්ලොයි කියන්නේ බිස්නස් එක. you know ඒක බිස්නස් එකේ එක්ස්පෙන්ස් එක. EPF expense account debit EPF payable account credit. Finish up and raise your hand. ETF also done by the employer. Now it's fine, right? Hurry, hurry. So ETF is a employer contribution. So it is an expense and a liability. ETF payable account credit. Next one, EPF employee. It is not a business expense, right? So how we record it? We debit from the salaries and wages account. Salary and wages account debit. It's included in the salary and ETF for EPF payable account Hope all done. Right. So now it's time for the discuss about VAT. VAT is a liability of the business, right? So business account it as a liability. We have done this one, right? I told you. So when it comes to VAT, so value added tax, I'll discuss in briefly VAT for the value added tax, right? So there are two VATs, input VAT and the output VAT. If this is the business, I told you there are two types of VATs. So when the business purchase things, business pay VAT, we call as input VAT, right? When the business sell goods, with the sales value, business collect VAT. If only this business is, if the business is registered for the VAT. If the business is registered for VAT. We can set off, you know, we can set off, we call this as output VAT. Output VAT is, if I take this one, if I take this is as the government, I think this is the government. The collected VAT should be paid to the government, and also pay VAT can claim claim can we can set off output VAT against input VAT. Now, if I take the sales double entry, including VAT, you know, if I take the VAT account, it is a business liability account. When the business collect VAT, so business liability increase, output VAT, and input VAT. Okay. So when the business collect VAT, sales account credit, because sales account we credited excluding the VAT, without the VAT amount, right? And VAT account also credit the VAT amount, right? We debit we debit cash if it is a cash sale, or if it is a credit sale, debtor account. Debit. Sale plus VAT. Every time income and expenses account we write under excluding the VAT. If I take purchase, include VAT, I told you purchase account we record excluding the VAT, right? So when we purchase, since we pay VAT, we can claim when we purchase, Every time our VAT liability decrease. So when liability decrease, it's debit, right? So purchase account debit, VAT account also debit, right? And if it is a cash sales, cash account. If it is a credit sale, creditor, credit. So purchase account. So in here we record exclude VAT. I told you income and expense account we record excluding the VAT. VAT account is the VAT amount. So this is purchase plus, right? Now you can see all taxes collected by the government can be divided into two categories: direct taxes and indirect taxes. Direct taxes must be borne by the individual or organization paying the tax. They cannot be transferred to another person. For example, income tax paid by individual or company is a direct tax. Income tax is a direct tax because the ultimate uh, person who pays the one who subject to the payment. But when it comes to indirect taxes, we can transfer to the other person. That is also kind of a indirect tax. The primary characteristics of indirect tax is that they can be transferred to other individual. This means the individual or the organization responsible for paying the tax collects it from another person and remits to the government. This means in this case the tax is ultimately borne by someone other than the one legally obligated to pay it. Value added tax is an example for indirect tax. The VAT collection is implemented under the VAT Value Added Tax Act number 14 of 2002. This act has been amended several times since. Under this act, some businesses are required to register for VAT while others are not for the every business, right? This requirement is determined by the sales value of the respective business. That registered business collect VAT on their sales. They deduct the VAT paid on their purchases and other services from the collected VAT and remit the remaining amount to the government. Now think, I told you every time we credit the output VAT, and since we can claim the other input VAT, so if the BCD goes to the here, if the BBF goes to the here, which means we need to pay. If the BCD comes from here to here, which means no need to pay, means a claim, which means we paid more input taxes. So since input taxes can claim from the government is not paying to us, we can take it to the next accounting period, to the tax period. A business that is not VAT registered cannot charge VAT on its sales. Similarly, it cannot claim the VAT paid on its purchases and services from the government. The VAT paid on purchases is treated as part of the cost of the purchase, and VAT paid on expenses is treated as part of the expense. In this case, separate account for VAT is not required. So for a VAT registered business, the collected on sales of goods and services is transferred to a VAT output VAT, and the VAT paid on the purchases of goods uh, and services is transferred to input VAT. These input VAT and output VAT cannot be accounted for separately. Similarly, prices excluding VAT should be recorded as the value of the purchase or expense. Similarly, on the value excluding VAT should be recorded in the as the value of the sales or income. You can see. So when we sell the goods, sales account credit, VAT account credit, cash account or the debtor account debit. Purchases also write that expenses. Similarly, output VAT. So you can see when a business registered for a value added tax, uh, the same thing you can see in here, thing I have told you. So in here there are some other questions, and you can see return VAT on return as well. I'll give it to you. Till that, can you write it and raise your hand? We have done this one. Turn on the videos, huh? They want to skip it. So write it and raise your hand. The VAT part is easy. You know about this one. We have done many times. All done. Right. Okay. Now you can see even for the return inwards and return outwards as well. So I have told you, right? So when it comes to the return outward means, so like we return the credit purchase to the suppliers, right? So creditor control account debit. When we purchase it, creditor control account credit, VAT purchase account debit, VAT control account debit. But when we return it, creditor control debit, including the VAT amount, VAT control credit, not the purchase account, right? So not the purchase account. So uh, we re- uh, we we credit the return inward account, right? So you can see in here, when we purchase things, creditor control credit. When we return it, return inwards account debit, right? Okay, this should be changed. Return outwards account should be changed. Huh? Right. So this should be changed as, when we return our VAT liability, when we purchase our VAT liability decrease, should be credit. I'll credit. So this should also credit. Cease debit. Just correct it. Yeah? Right. Return inwards, debtor control account credit, debit is also right. Clear. Now you can see in here, when we purchase goods on credit, creditor liability increase. When we return it, our credit liability decrease. That's why we debit it, right? And when we purchase, purchase account debit. When we purchase account debit, you can see, when we purchase credit account credit, when we return credit account debit, right? So when we purchase account debit, when we return not the purchase account, return outwards account credit, the double entry, right? When we purchase, we debit the to the VAT account. Why? When we purchase, since we pay VAT, we can claim it, but when we return it, the debit entry should be removed. That's why we credit it. Easy, clear to send me a thumbs up, right? And when we sell the goods on credit basis, sales account credit, VAT account credit, debtors account debit. So when the debtors return it, debtor control credit. Why? We need to remove the debtor value. And when we sell it, sales account credit. When we return it, Return inwards account debit, right? When we sell the goods on credit, we collect the VAT, so our VAT liability increase. That's why we credit it. So, but when it returns, we need to remove the collect. We are giving again the collected VAT. So VAT account debit. That is how it goes. Hope you understood it properly. Right. Okay. So all good, right? So let's do one thing, right? So one bad thing, whole one. No, you can do because I have done many card in the web. Can you do this as a homework? Can you hear me, guys? We discussed that in the prime in the books. If you need, you can refer the recordings as well, right? Okay. Send me a thumbs up video on Karangi. Right. Now it's time for us to see the full format. All the adjustments done. Now you know this is the topic is about preparation of financial statements in a sole trader business. So you can see this financial statements. We prepare income statement, which means profit or loss statement, sales minus sales return, then the net sales. From then we take the cost of sales, opening stock plus purchases. Just underline it because this is the cost of sales, and try better if you can write minus sign in the beginning. Those cost of sales minus, right? Sales minus cost of sales, right? So how to calculate the cost of sales? Opening stock plus purchases. From that, this is also the sales return also minus, huh? Sales, sales return. Then we take the net sales. Better you can write net sales, net sales. At sales minus sales and then net sales. Opening stock plus purchases, like plus, then it's good, right? Then minus purchase returns, minus purchase return. We deduct from the purchases, we return the purchase return. Then we take the net purchases, net net purchase. Basically, at the REI gun, net purchase, purchases, right? Net purchase. Okay. Then carriage inwards, loading and unloading cost. Then the cost of goods to be sold. Cost available for sold. In other words, means you can write cost of goods to be sold, right? Cost of goods to be sold. You can write cost minus closing stock. Closing stocks minus, right? Closing stocks minus. Then the gross profit. Gross profit. To gross profit, we add other income, right? Okay. So we deduct expenses. We add other income, right? Add plus sign, minus expenses, minus expenses. Better write the expenses heading first. You know, we deduct distribution expenses, right? So, you know, then we deduct administration expenses, right? So then we deduct other expenses. Stocks written off also comes, and then the finance cost or the financial expenses. Cost also it's fine for the expenses, right? These are the headings. Okay, so better before deducting the expenses, write the heading, a main heading minus expenses using like two lines. Two lines means like underline using two lines. That's the main heading minus expenses. Expenses. The main heading. So because of that, underline using two. Distribution, administration, other and finance, we deducted. So when it comes to SFP, we prepare as that. So first we take the assets, assets, right? First we take the assets. Under that, we take non-current assets, right? And current assets, right? Sorry, right? So then we take the equity and total assets and total assets. Then we take the equity and liability, right? First we write the equity, then we write the non-current liability, under liability, then the current liability. These are the formats, right? You can see normally for both we use three columns when we are drawing under cost accumulator, carrying value, the net value. So for this also we use three columns as well, right? Okay, right. So total assets should be equal to total equity plus liability. Can you hear me? Send me a thumbs up. Hope you can hear me, right? Right, okay. Let's do one thing today. Okay, now I'm going to do like this. Look here. I'll take another one day for the revision for this session because then we can do no need to go till 3, right? So I have included many questions in here. Right. Let's start from the number one. Let's start from the number one. Right now, to do like this, guys. Right? I'll do like this. I'm going to quit this because I'm going to draw one format and I'm going to save it. Then I can use it again and again. Can you hear me, guys? Hope it's clear to you. Now, now today I'm going to do one thing. Next week also, you need to draw the format and count. Right? Okay, I'll save it. Right. Write the in a new page, right? Adjusted financial statements. We are including all the adjustments and prepare the financial statement. Write the heading. Adjusted financial statement. This is for sole proprietorship, not for proprietorship. This is just for sole proprietorships, right? Okay, this is exercise number. So I'm going to draw the like common thing. වාඩත් ඕනම් මෙහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉස්සර මම කරා මෙහෙම. Company accounts වලට partnership accounts වලටත් මම කරා. I'll do it like this. Can you hear me guys? Hope you can hear. මම එක format එකක් මම මුලින්ම ගත්තා මේ exam එකට එන කොළ තියෙනව නේද? දැකලා තියෙනවද? exam එකට ඔය කොළ ලිව්වාම ඔයා දන්නවනේ අර exam එකට government එකෙන් දෙන කොළ තියෙනවනේ දැකලා තියෙනවද? right? ඒ කොළ set එකක් හොයාගත්තා. කියන්නේ ඒ කොළම නෙමෙයි ඒ වගේ ඔය සමහර ඔය තැන් වලින් ඒ full format එකෙන්ම yeah okay it's fine refer the record right ඒ format එකෙන්ම තියෙන කොළ ටිකක් හොයාගන්න. හොයාගෙන මම මොකද කරේ? ඒකක එක common heading එක common එකක් ගැහුවා. common format එකක් ගැහුවා. ගහලා ඒකෙන් photocopies 10ක් විතර ගත්තා. මං කියන්නේ තේරෙනවද? common මුලින්ම මෙහෙමයි. ගණන් දෙකක් තුනක් මං තනියම ඉතින් මේ format එක ගගහ කරා ඇයි ඒක format එක පුරුදු වෙන්න. ඊට පස්සේ මොකද මම කරේ? ගණන් දෙක තුනක් කරාට පස්සේ මට format එක පුළුවන් කියලා මම දැනගත්තා. format එකේ ඉතුරු ටික මම එකක් අරක ගහලා heading මේ photocopy ගහගත්තා. ඒතර exercise එහෙම ලිව්වේ exercise number කියලා දාලා මෙතන blank එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ photocopy ගහන්න. right? page number, queued page number, with the heading. Right? So normally in here, you know, but you know the structure, right? So the requirements are in here. They're making a order. They're asking about journal entries and prepare the income statement. So I'll do like the first. I'll draw the journal in sorry P&L and SFP, right? So it's easy for me for the other things as well, right? So then I'll go the number one. So I'll use three columns. මේකේ මම ඉඩ දිනවා. blank 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 profit මේ මම ඉතින් අර මේකම කොපියක් දාගන්න profit ඔයා නම් පළවෙනි එකේ නම ලියන්න profit or loss for the year ended ඒකටත් blank every time I'm rounding off to thousands ගාන තිබ්බත් පොඩි ගණන් තිබ්බත් මම thousands වලට round off it's easy for us sales return තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන් නැති වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒක නිසා rule දෙකක් තියලා තමයි මම ලියන්නේ minus cost of sales. sales return තිබ්බොත් දාන්න. opening stock plus purchases keep two lines then for this keep four lines. Why? There can be purchase return and then the net purchase, then carriage inwards loading and unloading. Because of that, keep four lines. Then cost of goods to be sold. මෙතන දෙකක් තියෙනවා. මම ලිව්වට ඔයා ලියන්න එපා. මෙතන හතරක් ලියන්න. cost of goods to be sold minus closing stocks minus then the gross profit. Right? So after that, gross profit ඒක ළඟම ලියන්න plus other income. Then keep like 7 6 7 lines විතර තියාගන්න වැඩි වුණාට තමයි. Minus expenses, the common heading. ඉතර හතක් ඕනෙත් දැන් පහක් විතර තිබ්බනම් මෙන්න මේවට තමයි මේවට minus දාන්න ඕනෙත් නෑ. ඔයා minus common heading ලිව්වනම් distribution expenses, at least for that keep 7 lines, right? Adminis හතක් නෙමෙයි සමහරට වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක නිසා 10ක් විතර තියෙනවා. වැඩි වුණාට අවුලන්නේ අඩු වුණොත් තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. Administration expenses, right? Then other expenses, finally ඒවට minus දාන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔය අර common heading එකක් දැම්මනම් minus. Then also keep finance expenses. Other expenses වල නම් rule like 3 4 lines is enough. Thrown at right. So hope you got the structure. I'll repeat it again. Sales keep like 2 lines. If sometimes there can be like sales return, then opening stock plus purchases keep 4 lines. Cost of goods to be sold minus closing stock, then the gross profit plus other income keep like 5 to 7 lines. Distribution administration keep like 10 lines. ඒ වඩා අඩු වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් ගාන පොඩි මේක නම් බැලුවා මට දාලා තියෙනවා, right? Okay, then distribution administration other and finance expenses, the format of the P&L. Now I'll go to the format of the SFP. Business statement of financial position, statement of financial position as at if space to light the day, rounding off to 1000. Cost accumulated depreciation carrying value or net value, right? First right assets, under that non-current assets keep like 8 to 10 lines. Then current assets, right? Then write for current assets also keep 8 to 10 lines. Equity, no opening equity is the capital, right? Sometimes there can be net loss. If there's a net loss, we need to deduct. That's why don't write net profit. So then here, like there can be additional capital drawings, keep 4 5 lines. Then the liability, right? Non-current liability, keep like 2 3 lines. That's enough. Like three 4 lines because there are no many non-current liability. Then after that, take the current liability, right? So once you draw this format, write the heading workings because you need the workings as well. For workings also, right? Very so under that, keep like few workings, keep like 7 8 line, not 7 8 lines, keep like 15 lines. Is the full format. Is it clear to send me a thumbs up? The format. I'll take copies. In for the first one also there are like many things. ඔය වගේ ෆෝමැට් දෙක තුනක් ගහලා තියන්න. ඒතර අපිට ලේස්. දාන බාන thumbs up එකක් ළමයි. I want the thumbs ups, right? Draw the formats and come. You can do it at home because I'm not going to start it. So, right? So draw the formats and come. Then it's easy for us to do the things, right? Finish up here and raise your hands. But in the first one, you can see they're asking about the journal entries. After the workings, I'm going to do the first one. Like if I take this one as question number one, right? So exercise number one, Hewed, page number 35, 36, 35 and 36, 35, 36, right? So in number two, they are asking about the journal entries. So number two, they are asking about the P&L and SFP. But in number one, they are asking the journal entries, right? So after the workings, I'll do the number one. Not today, let's do these things next day. I'll take another 2 sessions. It's okay, fine. Not Sunday extra data. Sunday we need to go for the proper. So for draw the general, we need to have the general journal, right? General journal. I'll take this the debit, credit. So you can see there are how many adjustments? There are 6 adjustments. For one to write one entry, we need 4 lines. You have to keep at least 24 or 30 lines around that to write the journal entries. Okay, finish it and raise your hand. Finish it and raise your hand. Just ask you to draw the structure, right? Okay, now look here. Turn on the videos, I'll tell you. You need to follow formats. Format එකක් ගහන්න ඕනේ. එකක් ගහලා තියන පස්සේ ඉතුරු එක ගන්න. අද කරන්නේ නැහැ මේ ගන්න අද පටන් ගන්න. ඊළඟ දවසේ පටන්. Right? Okay, now I want to tell you few things. You need to follow some steps when you are doing one. First of all, before starting this kind of questions, you need to read the question and understand what are the requirements. දැන් මේකේ මම කියුවෙත් නැතුව මම format එක ගහන්න නිසා බලන්න. මුලින්ම බලන්න requirements මොනවද කියලා. Requirements, journal entries and P&L and SF. Before drawing that, then you need to again first of all see the requirements. Number two, check the time duration. That is the important part here. So just see in here, you can see for the year ended 31st December 2019, opening on 1st of January 2019 is on 31st December 2009. First of all, see the requirements. Number two, check the time duration. Number three, you need to check. We need to start the format from where. Sometimes this is the trial balance. Sometimes in the trial balance they can give you the gross profit. එහෙම දුන්නොත් ඔයා P&L එක ගහද්දී exam එකේ ඔයාට structure එකක් ගහලා දෙන්නේ. ඔයා P&L එක ගහද්දී ඔයා sales වලින් පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ gross profit දීලා තිනවා නම් ඔයා පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ gross profit. And sometimes they have calculated the cost of sales and give you. If so, you don't need to write opening stock plus purchases, then 4 lines, cost of goods to be sold minus closing stock, no need. Easy, clear to your send me a thumbs. That's why you need to be careful. First of all, read the requirements. Number two, check the time duration. Number three, see whether the formats, how we need to draw the formats, right? So now sometimes if there is no any depreciation, why you don't need cost accumulated depreciation and the net value? Write it down. කොයි හරි අයිනිගෙන් ලියාගන්න steps මම දෙන්නේ. Number 1, read the requirements. Number 2, underline the time. සමහරට ඒගොල්ලෝ මාසෙකට P&L SFP හදන්න. කොට depreciation බලන්නත් ඕනේ මාසෙකට. That's why be careful. Sometimes they are asking you to prepare for 6 months. If so, the depreciation should be for 6 months. Understand? Accrued expenses, ඒවත් බලද්දි පරිස්සම් වෙන්න. Right? Number 3, when you are drawing the formats, you need to check whether there are there are gross profit, cost of sales are given to you or not. You need to find. Or if there are depreciation, likewise, you need to check. Fourth one, right? So you need to slowly see the like carefully observe the adjustments and see whether there are any connection between සමහරට 2යි 5යි connect වෙන්නේ නැති. දෙකේත් insurance related එකක්, පහෙත් insurance related එකක් නම් පොඩ්ඩක් ලියන්න බලන්න. Closing stock දෙයාදලා depreciation දීලා තියෙනවා. Debtors should be right of bad debts and provision for depreciation. Accrued salary, prepaid expenses, and owner's goods drawings and closing stationery stocks are. Right. Okay. Right. Then nothing other than that, nothing in here. Right. ඔය ටික තමයි තියෙන්නේ. So එහෙම බලලා එහෙම relations තියෙනවා නම් පොඩ්ඩක් ගහගන්න. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අපි ගාන පටන් ගන්න. Okay. So I'll take another day because I have some urgent works to do today. Right? That's why, because I thought of doing the class till 3, but I want to go. But just remember, draw the structure. එකක් ගැහුවා වගේ මම මේ ගැහුවා වගේ ගහලා එකක් නෙමෙයි තව දෙක තුනක් ගහන්න. Next week, today I'm going to do, next day I'm going to do 1. අනිත් ඒවා එනං අහන්නේ ඔක්කොම P&L and SFP විතරයි. 2 එකෙත් P&L and SFP. 3 එකේ අහන්නෙත් what is number 3 requirement? Number 3, the P&L and SFP, that's enough. තව දවස් දෙක තුනක් මම ගන්නවා අවුලක් නෑ. අපි වෙනම කරන්නේ normally Sunday නෙමෙයි. This Sunday I'm going to start the manufacturing accounts. Easy creative. We met yesterday management accounting, today this. Tomorrow in the paper revision class, I'm going to do double any system and primary book. Sorry, double any system and primary book. Yes, past paper discussion. Then Monday I'm going to start the manufacturing. අපි ගොඩාක් වැඩ කරනවා දැන් සතර දවස් හතරක් විතර මාත් එක්ක. කොච්චර ළමයි හිටියත් එක්කෙනාද දෙන්නද තුන් දෙනාද රෙකෝඩින් බලනවාද මම දන්නවා රෙකෝඩින් බලන අය ගොඩක් අය ඉන්නවා. ඒ නිසා මගේ වැඩේ මම හරියට කරනවා සමහරවිට 26 අයට දවස් 4ක් සතියේ. ඉතර කරන්නේ නැහැ කොහෙවත්, right? Okay, so let's meet tomorrow 7 a.m. right? So I'm going to continue the past paper discussion. Thank you for the participation. Bye. Bye.